What's up everybody, this is Natural Soap Man with another review, and guys, this week I'm actually going to be reviewing the pine tar soap by a company known as Bauer Botanicals. So let's get right into the review. Hey, what's up my friends, man, it's good to see everybody and thank you so much for joining me for another review. Man, this week and next week, man, I'm reviewing two soaps by Botanicals, and I have to admit, man, I've been using them for last week, whatever. I'm super excited. That's all I have to say, man. I'm really hyped for these two soaps. I have the pine tar soap and I also have the Viking. This week I'm going to be reviewing the pine tar. Next week I'm going to be checking out the Viking. And both of them, I have to say, I absolutely adore these soaps. Just to give you a little foreshadowing here. A little bit about the company, though. Interesting enough, the guy, the owner's name is Justin Bauer. Hopefully I'm saying his name correctly. He doesn't have a website. He actually has an Etsy page. So if you actually want to order some of his soaps, you have to go to his Etsy page. And just to give you a little background on Justin, apparently Justin actually has a background in ethnobotany, which is just the study of plant lore and agricultural practices by people in a certain particular region or area, and also has a background in history as well. Yeah, and I think it's so cool, guys, when you order the soaps and you get it in the mail from him, he provides you just like a little typed up background story on each of the soaps that you ordered. And it provides you like some historical relevance of the soaps and how it was used by different indigenous people throughout history, like the Vikings or the Native Americans and so forth. And that stuff's that's just stuff that's really, really cool. And I've never seen anything like that before, and that deserves a shout out. And it's just cool, man. That's just cool. But last and not least, before we jump into our review, I know I'm kind of rambling here, but I think this is so cool to point out, is that this is also the first time I've ever seen this. When you order the soap, he actually makes a soap upon order, meaning he won't make your soaps until you order the soap. So it's basically soap on demand. And so it's really the closest you're gonna get to custom made soap. I've never seen that before. That is totally new to me, and that's pretty cool too. So we didn't even get into the review yet, and I'm already dropping bombs. This guy's killing it out here. So with that being said, guys, let's move on to the first part of our video where we start looking at the packaging of our soap. So okay, my friends, JD actually doesn't provide any boxing or anything like that. It's actually basically what we call a naked soap, meaning there's no boxing, no packaging like that, or minimal packaging for the most part. Really, when you get it, it only just comes in this little bad boy. And obviously the box, obviously that they ship it in, obviously, but it's just wrapped in this little thin cutout sheet of paper with the ingredients on the back, and has like a little wax seal with his logo on it, or a big B. So that's really neat, but there's really no boxing, anything like that, so nothing really to show here, guys. So let's just move on to the next part of the video where we're just gonna actually take a close look at the soap itself. So awesome deal, guys. Now taking a closer look at the soap itself, let's go ahead and zoom in on this bad boy. And immediately this color has a darkish, very dark brown, even mahogany like, slightly black color, more of a deep dark brown really. But man, it is a gorgeous looking bar of soap. It's handcrafted. Really looks like a butter knife cut, this one. I love it. It's got like a little nice, gorgeous little handcrafted tree. That must be printed. He must have like a stamp, and he must print that in there. Or it might be handcrafted. I don't know. My boy might be crafty like that. But either way, it is a very beautiful looking bar of soap. I just love when I see handcrafted soaps and you get the rough, rugged feel. It's a really cool looking bar of soap at the end of the day. Interesting enough, it doesn't tell you how big the soap is on the packaging or on his website. So I actually had to weigh this soap. I actually had to weigh both the soaps. Both of them. The Viking was a little bit bigger. That one came in a little bit above 5. This one came a little bit right under. Like it was about 4.9 ounces. So they're both about, so basically they're about 5 ounces. That's what you can expect, give or take. These soaps, remember, these soaps are independently handcrafted, so size may vary slightly. Hopefully not too much though, right? So my friends, that's what the pine tar soap looks up close and personal. Let's move on to the next part of the video where we take a close look at the ingredients. Okay, so let's go ahead and post the ingredients on the screen. And there you have it, guys. That's it. There's only 5 ingredients here in this soap. This is a 100% all natural soap, 100% all natural ingredients. You have your 3 oils. You have olive, coconut, and castor oils. All provide you with fatty acids, antimicrobial, powerful moisturizers, help your skin feeling soft and smooth. You also have your activated hardwood charcoal, which really helps pull out those impurities in the skin. And finally, we end our ingredient list with pine tar itself. Now, pine tar actually has a myriad of different benefits, as is antifungal, antimicrobial. It even has some additional purposes as it helps relieve with eczema and psoriasis. So when you take a moment and stop and analyze all the different health benefits that pine tar soap offers, it's really no surprise why pine tar soap was actually used for so long, literally over 1,000 years throughout human history, as it really is a very powerful soap to have. And also just really smells really good, which we're going to talk about in the next section when we do the sniff test. So let's go right on. All right, gentlemen, moving right along to the sniff test. This is where I try to do my best to describe this darn bar of soap to you and do the best I can to say how it smells. This right here is what I would consider a true pine tar soap. For me, there's 2 categories. There's non-true pine tars and true pine tars. A non-true pine tar for me is basically where the pine tar is not prominent. It's almost like a feature where it has like 4 other essential oils, there's natural fragrance, and you can barely even notice the pine tar. It's not even really there. Whereas a true pine tar, like this, is the smell. It is dominant. It doesn't take a back seat. It is the featured. It can have essential oils. It can have maybe 1 or 2, but they have to serve as a more of a complementary role. And even some natural fragrance or whatever. And in this case, JB says that he uses 30% pine tar, which is that's a lot of pine tar. It's a lot of pine tar, actually. So this is straight up a pine tar soap. It's not a feature scent. This is the real deal. Now, I can't stress this enough. Very similar to how I describe tea tree soaps when I'm reviewing them, is you need to know whether or not you like pine tar soaps before I can recommend this to anyone. Pine tar soaps are often described as they're very woody and very smoky scent. Think like campfire, bonfires. It's kind of like going out in the pine forest and having a campfire kind of deal. Or as you going out in the pine forest, chest bearing your flannel with your mighty axe, going on to take on that grizzly bear. That's another way to describe this scent. Either way, the scent is very masculine, it's very strong, very prominent, and there's no denying it. You need to know if you like this or not. I guess one way to think of it is this is not for boys, this is for men. It's a very masculine smell. Man, as somebody who really likes pine tar, I just love natural scents. I often consider soaps like these earthbound because I feel like they come from the earth. I'm a big fan of these soaps, and I have to admit, man, all seriousness, this actually might be one of the best smelling pine tars, or just best pine tar soaps I've smelled or used in a very long time. If ever, it might be the best one I've ever used. And that's very high praise because I love pine tar soaps, and I have tried quite a bit of them. But with that being said though, guys, that's the smell. I hope it gives you a better idea. Think smoky, think woody. But all right, my friends, that concludes the sniff test. I hope that gives you a better idea what it smells like. Remember, think woody, think smoky. Those are your 2 primary scents here that you're gonna get from a pine tar soap. But with that being said, let's move on to the lather test, where we're gonna go ahead and check out the lather, and then we're gonna come back here and we're gonna conclude the video. So let's move right on. lather was really on point. There's no packaging or boxing thing like that, which is another big plus. Very friendly to the environment. It's what we consider a naked bar of soap. It just had that little cutout sheet of paper with the ingredients on it. The soap itself looked really cool. Had that nice mahogany, deep dark brown color. Looked like a kind of rough on the top. Just really cool. Had a really cool look to it. Had like a little tree stamped into it or carved into it, whatever it was. Man, the ingredients are on point. I love the simplistic 5 ingredients. All 100% all natural, 100% all powerful, really nice. Worked phenomenally well. Every time I used this soap, man, my skin was so soft. It just did great. It did great. Really, really good. I'm telling you, you don't need a million ingredients to have a good bar soap. You just need to focus on the right ingredients to get the right bar soap. So I think it nailed it out the park. It did phenomenal for me, at least. I can't speak on everybody, obviously, but on my skin, every time, did a good job. So kudos to that. I had a great time with the soap, man. The smell, again, think smoky, woody, very strong, pine tar, not subtle. If I didn't say that before, it is not a subtle soap. You can expect a powerful, strong smelling soap. Remember, you need to know if you like a pine tar. It is a very peculiar smell. Not everyone's gonna like it, but there are a lot of people who do. It's that fine line. It's always like that 50-50 kind of thing, sort of like tea tree. You need to know. It is what it is, but it's phenomenal. Woody, smoky, remember. Now, upon looking at the soap, there's only really 2 things that I would like to bring to your attention that I think are worth mentioning, at least. They could be cons, depending how you look at it. One for sure. Now, like I said before, the size of the soap was not made available. I would like to see that added somewhere. I don't really care where. It could be on the package. It could be on the little Etsy page. Not sure. Don't really care where or how. But I just feel that it not being there, not that it's a big deal, but I do feel like if it's not there, it almost unnecessarily invites some type of sketchiness, I guess, if you will. And that's not necessarily, obviously that's not true. There's nothing sketchy going on, but when an average consumer is looking at the soap, they're gonna see that and wonder, well, how big is the soap? What exactly am I paying for? And that not being available just raises an unnecessary question that could easily be avoidable. Even if you say like approximately 5 ounces, then it's like, whatever, it's cool. Now at least we have an idea of how big the soap is. You know what I mean? And the other thing I want to point out, when looking at the soap, I noticed the soap itself was actually fairly soft. Now, it wasn't Play-Doh soft. I wasn't like making a ball out of it or playing with it. But when you give it a good squeeze, it would actually begin to mash down, right? Now, for those who are not familiar or not aware, you're probably wondering where I'm going with this, is just know or understand that the softer a soap is, the faster your soap will melt. So when you're using it, just be aware of that. Just, be careful. Don't over lather it. Keep it dry. Use a soap saver. All those type of things. Because if not, it's going to melt on you really quickly, or quicker than the average bar soap, for sure. But overall, for the soap, man, you could just tell the gentleman who made the soap is obviously and clearly passionate about his craft. You can tell he really enjoys making soaps, and it feels like there's a little bit more to it, right? It's not that he's just making soaps just to do it, like he just likes making soap. No, the whole thing, like connecting it to history and anthropology, right, with the different calls to different cultures and groups of people throughout history, and give you almost like a time capsule snapshot of what soaps kind of would be like, and kind of reflect that for a moment. I think that's just cool, man. That's like 2 pluses right there. So when you can take that on account, man, this is a super strong recommendation. If you like pine tar soaps, I can't recommend this enough. Go try this one. Like I said, man, this might be one of, I don't want to be too dramatic, but man, I feel pretty confident saying this is arguably one of the best pine tar. If it's not the best, it's sure as hell one of the best pine tar soaps I've ever used in my life, and I've used quite a bit. So that being said though, man, you gotta try this one. And if you don't like pine tar soap, then you this is a recommendation, can get very weird here, but if you don't like pine tar, then you stay absolutely away from it. If you don't like pine tar, if you don't like smoky smells or anything like that, you stay away. Stay away. Because if that's exactly what this is. If you don't like that smell, don't even bother. I'll see you next week with the Viking. You might like that one more. But if you do like it, you gotta try it, man. Awesome one. Super strong recommendation here. So with that being said though, guys, that's my recommendation. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got a little bit of something out of it. Shout out to JB Bauer Botanicals for making a fantastic soap. I love everything about it. Love the presentation. Loved it. So with that being said, guys, this is Natural Soap Man with another review. I'll see you next week where we're gonna take a close look at JB Bauer's Viking. So cannot wait for that. Stay tuned for that one. I'll see you next week, guys. Take care and bye-bye.